All right, so we've drawn up hands. We will reminisce on that game. So we've got Engineering the Future, played by Travis. I think we haven't seen this on stream yet, but we have got Jon's Leela deck again that we've seen earlier. We got the DDoS, we got the DLR action going. So excited to see this matchup. I mean, a lot of times, again, you've seen Leela plenty. If Leela does her thing against ETF, it gets really rough. DLR is a nice tool against them. Gang sign could be relevant here. So it's really just going to depend on how explosive these opening hands are. Again, the one of the things I mentioned earlier that I know Travis knows this because we've talked about this plenty of times, but I've seen plenty of players make a mistake against Jon's deck where they assume like once DLR hits the board that it's invincible, that you can't just pay to trash it. There is a reason that Wireless Net Pavilion was made unique, and it makes you able to trash stuff, and especially with Engineering the Future, if you can get the sexy robots going, it is very, very easy to trash when you're staring at a pile of like 20-something credits. Hopefully, we've seen that mistake be made earlier on stream. Hopefully, Travis will learn from mistakes in the past.
He's trying to restructure.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So looking at opening hands, Travis is fine. I see a hedge fund, and so we got one agenda. We've got an archive memory. So yeah, this hand seems fine. Building nothing in terms of significant end the run ice, but he's got money, which counts in this matchup.
Yeah, definitely.
We do know that Jon has two of, or I think he has.
What's up?
I'm looking for. Oh, okay. I'm looking for count siphon count.
Yeah, he put a what's it called?
Yeah, so 3 of a count siphon. There was somebody earlier on stream who had 2 of a count siphon.
On HQ to stop the siphon, left R&D open.
All right.
He runs, sees an Eve. He's not going to trash that. Sorry. Yeah,
all right, trying to make sure players can't hear us, so we're trying to keep the volume managed. So we got Fall Guy. We've got the first ingredient of the DLR puzzle down.
Are you playing DLR?
Oh, Travis knows what he is chastising Jon for being that guy.
So click one. He's going to draw here. See a Turing. That's probably going to go in the remote.
Yeah.
This turn instantly. Don't see why not. Oh, on R&D.
Interesting. So Jon has made, I think, what is an important decision for criminal DLR decks, where he has real breakers. He has a passport. He has a breach in his deck. So that's not going to have the same effect that it would against a pure Faust deck.
He's got a Mongoose as well. I saw. That's interesting. I guess he just wants to end the run. He doesn't want to keep poking RD because he hasn't seen an agenda, and except the NAPD doesn't want to get a free steal.
Yeah. So we see the account siphon in hand. DDoS is up.
What? Why is this happening? For one axis? I don't understand this type of play.
All right, so Eli off the top. That's what I'm sure Travis wants to see.
I'm really glad that didn't work. I hate this type of play where, like, you know, then he bounces the what's it called, Crisium, then siphons. He's going to siphon anyway. I don't understand this either.
All right, so he's going to take the access.
I mean, yeah, this is like a decent. I mean, not a decent criminal.
All right, so this exchange turned out great for Travis.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of criminals try to do this with Leela. Like, they want to hit something huge early, bounce, and set you back. And if they do, they're going to pretty much dictate the tempo of the game. And if they don't, the setback is so large.
Yeah, that's true. Because at this point, I mean, Jon's pretty broke.
He's on 0 credits, except the Fall Guy, I guess, is a credit, 2 credits.
Yeah, just not great shape. He's got the Eli in Turing, so he's going to force Jon to get real breakers. Now, again, I mean, the DLR threat is always real, but that takes time to set up. Bank job could be very nice if he gets that going.
Right. What's his tag mechanic? Paparazzi? He's going to tag himself?
Yes, does have paparazzi and account siphon.
Oh, yeah,
so
either floats tags or paparazzis himself.
All right, so bank job here is really nice.
Okay,
Travis nodding his head, respect to the bank job. There's nothing you can do. You can't play around it. I mean, ETF, that is the deck, is you spam out a bunch of assets.
That's a good
getting to restructure territory is nice.
Yeah, that's a good way to get his money back.
Yeah, so now you're out of account siphon range, which you kind of passed the first test against your standard Leela deck. So that's nice. Now we've got to move into the phase of we got to get that remote established, get some upgrades in, and we got to start scoring out. Gang sign's going to be an interesting one, especially with that HQ interface in hand. Yeah, and I like this play from Jon.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I think you do want to get the drug dealer.
The remote with Ash, did you see it?
Yeah, he's got the Eve in there, so he's going to get that going, presumably. Okay, so touring for a remote. That's nice. Because Jon can't answer that.
I'm surprised
He's only got Faust. He's only got Faust an inside job to potentially get in there.
I'm surprised he didn't start the Eve trickle.
I'm surprised that Jon has not installed Drug Dealer at this point. I mean, I thought I saw it in his hand earlier.
All right.
I mean, that's what the card's there for, to keep the cards flowing. Okay, so Travis, he's now at the point where he's got to manage his hand somewhat. The gang sign HQ interface is down, so he's got to be careful. NAPD's not the worst one to lose if he wanted to try and score up the Vitruvius, but he does have to be mindful of it. All right, so Jon kind of surveying the board. No res dice at this point, but Jon has no real breakers. You've got to be nervous about hitting an Architect at this point.
I mean, there's a lot of bad things you can eat.
Yeah,
Architect, Vikram eats some brain damages.
Yep.
He's not going to pay that trace.
Yeah, Vikram, to me, is a big card that Engineering the Future, and, I mean, all the other HP decks for that matter, but...
Oh, there's other HP IDs?
Yeah, right.
What are they?
I try to play them and then switch back to ETF, but yeah, they do exist, I've seen. Yeah. But it's so nice because Ichi is great, but it doesn't force you to put down breakers, but Vikram is one that has to be answered with some kind of breakers. You can't click through it.
Even there, like, what is going on?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
The only other thing I can think of is, like, he doesn't want to res it, because maybe he's just going to take 3 or does 1 credit.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's, but maybe the reason he's not doing it is, like, as soon as I draw an agenda, I want to slap it down.
Yeah, and I think that's probably fair.
Because then that way, what's it called, gang sign loses some value there. But, like, it's been a couple turns. You would at least netted 1 credit.
Okay, finally this Drug Dealer hits the board. This is one I tend to fire those off as soon as I draw them.
Yeah. I guess he wanted to get in a more stable econ position, which he hasn't drawn much econ. Now he's got the breaker bay. He's got to make a choice now. Is this Eve going to happen or not? I would push the NAPD. He's got another agenda. What's the other one? I would just install.
He's got Vitruvius.
Just put an agenda down. Because the more, I guess he has Jackson to protect himself. Because he's going to have to Jackson away those agendas. Because if he keeps them when he tries to score, it'll get really bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think Travis knows he's up against the DLR deck. You've got to pick up the pace. You can't play your standard HB Glacier deck. I mean, you have some time. It doesn't assemble itself immediately on the runner side, but at the same point in time, you don't have as much time as you do against a Shaper or even most of the Anarch decks. I mean, you got to get moving to jam these agendas out because you will see the bottom of your deck quicker than you're expecting.
Yeah.
It may be reasonable to me if he was going to try and just let Jon assemble all the pieces and then just get enough money to pay to trash all of it. I would have rezzed the Eve, would have expected the Eve to be rezzed.
So he's going to get rezzed now. It's going to happen. I think what would be good is put an ice on archives. So
Yeah,
that prevents
I agree.
the DLR to be easy to lay down.
Yep.
Oh, then he could inside job it, but still.
Still, I think it's always important.
Yeah.
Just make him have it. Okay,
God,
so
I really don't understand this.
I don't know if he's going after the Chrysium, but
I think you don't res
Yeah,
here.
he doesn't have enough money. He could fall guy, but I don't think that's the game plan necessarily. I mean, I think he's trying to get the HQ interface.
Yeah, he's just trying to get some. And you don't res here because the inside ice is Ichi. So
Yeah.
If it was anything else, this is why I don't like this inside job play. If it's any other ice, you don't get it.
Yeah.
You don't do anything.
And if it's an Architect, I mean, to me, that would spiral this game pretty bad if you face plant an Architect at this point, putting a robot in play or putting an agenda last click or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a Leela player, so I don't fully understand. Don't do it. You can't res. Don't do it, Travis.
So if he gets there, he will be able to potentially at least steal both. He can get the NAPD. Oh wait, but then yeah, well depending on because he can't do anything about the Chrysium.
Access the hand first. Did he pop the fall guy? Yeah,
yes. All right, so NAPD's got a choice to make here.
I think you take the agenda.
Yeah, I think you take any agenda you put your hands on at this point.
Yep. Probably bounce and R&D ice.
This one?
I guess that's fair. Dang, if he has a Vitruvius here.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
that's not good for Travis at that point.
I mean, the NPD is fine here. It's actually kind of cool. It sets him back a bit. Oh, don't be Vitruvius.
All right, that's a fine exchange.
Yeah,
You're down to 2 with drug dealers going to drain you down another 1, and you've gotten a fall guy off the board, so that it's tougher to get DLR going.
Up.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, Travis has effectively shut out account siphon. Another gang sign is not bad at all. Travis is going to have to play around that. So yeah, looks like he is going to use that remote to just get Eve going. I think that's perfectly reasonable. I don't think with that much money that DLR is as much of a threat as some people would assume.
I think I would actually trash this Eve and put the Vitruvius in. He has 1 credit. He's gonna lose. I mean, I already lost the credit, but he has 1 credit. Just do it. What's your what?
You don't need the Eve.
You have
clearly.
an Ash. Yeah, you don't need this. Just you have so much money. Just you have to do this now, because if you. Yeah, see, good play. Good play by Travis. I like this. I mean, it's a sad thing, but you have Ash. He's not going to take this.
The value of getting 2 counters on Vitruvius, too, is huge.
Like
because then if DLR goes off and he tries to run, you just pull it back to hand. And that's big. I think there's a lot of value there.
I like the res as well, because then he prevents, what's that card?
Sorry, say it again.
Drive-by. It prevents drive-by.
Yes.
It's a good res. Because the way he loses here is drive-by, credit, inside job, madness.
All right, so we're drawing some cards with Fisk. All right, so that's going to put a Vitruvius in his hand that potentially the gang signs are going to snipe. So that is nice. Have DLR, but no tagging mechanism at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he's got kind of a dead hand at this point. But at the same point in time, when you've got the gang signs out, you don't really need much in your hand. You just need to make sure Travis has something in his.
I think it'll be hard to trigger this bank job.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I don't know that I'd lay that down and telegraph that I had the next one. All right, so we're going to pitch.
Plascrete.
Plascrete for sure.
Probably Levy. There it goes.
All right, so Travis.
I think you go nuts.
I didn't see what he drew in the mandatory. Assuming it's anything other than another agenda, I think that's absolutely one you want to score out immediately. All right, so I think that Vitruvius is, you get 2 triggers of gang signs and you get an extra card. So he's got a lot of cards in hand.
Did he not over advance?
He did. I thought he did.
There's no counter on Vitruvius.
All right, so we're going to see the first 2 for the first gang sign activation. All right, safe. Gets to shuffle them up, and we'll see 2 more cards.
If you miss the Vitruvius, you just slap it down again. Yeah, he's right. He didn't draw his drug dealer.
But it's his turn now, right?
All right, so they're just talking with the judge, trying to get this clarified on the drug dealer activation. Drug dealer, in my experience, is one of the most forgotten cards that's on the board of any I've ever seen. But you get a chance to forget it on your turn and your opponent's. All right, so yep. Travis has protected himself adequately. High five. So yeah.
That was on my first click.
All right, so he
he
didn't
did
put counters
he
on
did
it.
not
That's
over-advance
interesting.
I guess because
I'm sure he doesn't want to have to dump all of this, and I can respect that. He's got a lot of good cards in his hand that are pretty relevant here. But
I mean, one of the installs just has to be the Vitruvius.
yeah, there's no way Jon's getting back.
He didn't get it the last time. And I think you just put another ice on our HQ. You have to replace the HQ ice.
I
think
completely agree.
Vikram's a great choice here.
Vikram is mean right now. Interesting. Puts a rainbow on archives.
I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah, I think you jam out the Vitruvius. I completely agree with you. I don't think there's anything in your hand that you can't afford to pitch, that it's not worth just. Now, he may get paid off for this because I think Jon is probably just going to Fisk Investment Seminar on his turn. We see another one in his hand. So he might, it might be the right decision for the wrong reason. But, yeah, I like just getting the Vitruvius on the
Jackson
board.
isn't doing a whole lot in there right now. Like, because it's not going to let you, if you Fisks and you draw more agendas, it's not going to help you get rid of them and still play the Vitruvius, which is your win.
All right, so they're just trying to sort through what they do. All right, so we Fisk it up. Good for Travis. No more agendas in hand, so. Yeah, I mean, he's got all the ice he's going to need to seal Jon out to where if Jon wants to win this through some method other than DLR, he's going to have to find some breakers to get through these servers. Interesting. So he thinks there's something. Yeah, he is not going to get rewarded for this, it looks like. There is the Vitruvius in there, but I think he probably is hoping for a handful of agendas after that Fisk.
You didn't get any, right? On the Fisk.
So we're going to see 2.
Nope. If he hits archive memory, he's going to flip the table.
That would be hilarious. I'm not going to lie. Especially there's 2 of them, and he knows it. Oh, some variety. It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, and so we've run a central, so he's not tagged yet, but we do have a DLR online.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, so he installed. So wait, we got Chrysium Grid.
It won't work. It's not a successful run.
Yeah, not a successful. Yeah, yeah. So we got that corrected.
Neither successful nor unsuccessful.
Yeah, so we got that corrected. All right, so Travis has got a fistful of cards. Got to figure out what he wants to keep and what he needs. The great thing is, I mean, he's got so many good cards to work with at this point. I think he just needs to figure out where could Jon possibly threaten him. Jon is going to be broke.
See,
so
okay, pop this Jackson. You have another one. Put the Vitruvius down.
Yeah, I agree. I think Vitruvius has got to get out there. He's got so much money at this point.
Right.
The only thing that's relevant.
Because like, if you're basically doing nothing. Like, what is this Jackson going to do for you? How is it going to help you win the game?
To me, I think second ice on HQ makes a lot of sense, but after that, jam agendas.
Yeah.
He can never get through this Ash.
He's already played 2 of his inside jobs.
Siphon's dead. There is no burst money option for Jon left in his deck at this point. Drug dealer is going to drain him steadily every turn, and so at this point, Travis just needs to seal him out.
He's icing the remote some more.
And pitch extra ice seems fine to me. All right, so we've got we're down to 1 with drug dealer.
He's got Faust.
So we've got paparazzi, we've got a tagging mechanism, we've got the DLR in hand, but we need to be able to make a successful run.
Just run
and it's going to be scary. I mean, there's no inside job, so you could go archives, but you know, you've seen Vikram, you've seen Architect, you've seen all the scary stuff that does not lend itself to face checking. All right, so he's going to get Faust out for some protection. I think that's fine. And Siphon is nothing but Faust food at this point. All right, so yeah, before the draw, I want Jackson. That makes sense to me. See what he's got. He's had to discard quite a few from Fisk investment seminars over and over.
Really? What's happening?
Yeah, I think archive memories is important. Yeah, just a hedge fund's fine. I mean, at this point, he's got so much money that Adonis and Eve is just irrelevant at this point. Like,
actually, I think a campaign might be better since you have so much money. You don't need a burst hedge fund. If you put an Adonis Well, actually, no, you don't want it on this because then bank job becomes live.
Exactly. Yeah, I
So
don't
you're
think
right.
because you don't want to clog up the scoring remote at this
Probably
point.
the worst thing you could draw. Another agenda.
Now at this point, okay, so
One.
sealing off HQ. I would really want to
Advance
install
advance.
advance. Yeah,
Yep.
this is perfect.
You definitely want to get the counter this time.
You've got nothing in hand.
He's got one agenda.
He still has one?
He just topped it. He
Oh,
topped
okay.
it.
I missed the draw. Yep.
He's got another Fisk.
Fisk for days.
This guy's crazy.
Yeah, and this is Fisk is to me. It's a very good card that has to be played in a that. And this is Fisk is played in a very specific deck, and this is the type of deck, the one that wants to pressure you and that can really maximize the making the opponent draw 3.
Yeah.
So
What you do is you just don't score at the start.
yeah.
You don't score. You just draw.
Yeah.
And then tops to draw the agendas.
Yeah. I think that can make a lot of sense to me. I think Jon at this point, now he's got to figure out how to get into HQ because Travis has got money and he's 3 deep on HQ, so it's great that you've made him draw, but I don't know that
he wants to get HQ. He just wants to do the gang sign.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So let's see. So we've got, looking at what he's got in archives.
No, it isn't archives.
All right, so we've got DLR Fall Guy. We know that the paparazzi is in hand from earlier. And then we're going to draw a card from Drug Dealer. All right, so we got a grip full of cards that Travis probably would have preferred not to draw. Yeah, this is fine. Jon cannot challenge that remote, so he's in no rush. He knows it's completely safe, and I think he just needs to hit Jackson and then discard.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. This is what I hate. Oh, man.
So we've got 1 Jackson out of the game.
Huh?
We've
like
got 1
this.
Jackson out of the game.
Oh, man. Gangs.
But I mean, Jon's on 2. Even if you have to give up, even if you have to go to 6, I mean, the reality of it is.
No, you could, yeah.
Even if he goes to 6, though, I mean, Travis has got this remote locked down. I'm not saying it's a great position. It's not good.
That was his DLR protection, too. So this is awkward.
Yeah.
But not that awkward, actually. It's okay. It's pretty awkward, actually.
It's not great. It's not great. And to me, now, while Travis is thinking about this, I mean, to me, this is the best of what Criminal has to offer right now, is putting you in these kind of awkward positions.
Yeah.
I do think Gang Sign is a very important card that if Criminal is going to be relevant, I think that's part of it, because to me, it's like this is just such an awkward situation, and you don't even have to be able to get an access or be able to challenge a server to be able to make this happen. You just basically draw up your deck and force them to not to fade agendas, basically.
Yeah. I mean, Travis is really lucky he doesn't get another HQ on it. Stall paying 2. That's fair because you could bounce.
Yeah, that's right.
That'd be awkward and win the game.
Yeah, I think Travis is going to.
Right. He's not discarding out.
All right, so we're going to pop Jackson. Second one's out of the game. I mean, the good thing is,
I'm missing so much.
if Travis scores this, he's going to be on 4. He has the global food in hand. So to me, the biggest thing he's got to do, he's got to protect the global food to be able to immediately follow up. So even if he extra advances the Vitruvius and sets it up to where he can discard those and immediately bring them back into hand.
Toward another agenda.
Yeah, this is pretty gross. But to me, I mean, it's important to, when he scores, get those 2 Vitruvius counters back in hand. To me, the card that matters the most here is protecting a global food so we can close this game out and only allow for 1 gang sign activation.
You advance.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine.
Just see what happens.
Because we all, I mean, Jon is shut out of this remote. If he's winning, it's going to be through DLR or gang sign. All right, so I think they're trying to clarify something about archived memories. I'm not 100% certain.
He's asking about Vitruvius counter. Can you do it immediately whenever you want?
Because they're not paid ability windows, they're triggered based on the score. Basically, like when you score it, the anything he has that's going to firefires, and then afterwards.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think they're talking about the timing window of using Vitruvius
if
counters.
He could use a Vitruvius counter that he just gains before he can Leela.
Yeah, to pull cards back in hand to load up your hand with extra cards. Yeah, that makes sense.
Load up with random cards.
Yeah.
Score it.
All right, so we get.
All right, so gang signs first.
All right, so gang signs happen.
He's got pretty good odds here for 2 accesses.
Oh, absolutely. All right, so far so good.
If he whiffs the first one.
Okay.
Steal that though.
That's the worst one.
Bounce something. Triggers immediate bounce. I will bounce this. And then I
All
get
right.
seconds. Access.
Okay. I mean,
And I still have 1 floating bounce right now from the first score.
Watch his first click be Paparazzi, Mill 2, run Archives, win the game. I'd flip the table.
it could happen.
Yeah, because if he hits one here, you can go Mill 2 with Paparazzi. I mean, with DLR, if he Paparazzis.
Okay.
Love that card.
All right. I mean, that's about what you expected, given how
that's
bad
good.
Travis's
That's
hand
good.
was.
That's good. He would have preferred he hit the ABT.
You bounce this.
Yes, that was for stealing this, but
Oh,
for scoring
right.
this
You're
still
right.
goes,
You're
so I'll
right.
take out the middle.
Okay. So we're going to take out an Architect. That's fine. Travis, I mean, I think that's about, given how bad the last turn cycle was for him, that's about as good of a result as you can expect.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be.
No, I understand. Stressful game, long day.
All right, so just taking a look at the board, making sure he understands what's in HQ. All right, so yeah, jam away.
I'll drop
You would have rather had the food at this point, but you'll take what you can get.
Yep.
My turn.
I think John's play is Paparazzi.
Yeah, I think DLR at this point with an open archives, it makes a lot of sense to me. Travis can clear the board, has enough money, but he's going to have to pick how he manages his turn with the fall guy out at least.
I think he wants, maybe he's trying to wait a turn Fall Guy, yeah.
Okay, so we got. I don't know that wireless net does a lot at this point. I think Fall Guy is more relevant because it makes Travis waste more clicks.
2, 3.
Okay,
Yeah, it's fine.
seems very reasonable. And we've got Paparazzi to follow up with. So and this is kind of a scary place for Travis in that he is. He knows he's on the
He's so
clock.
happy he did mandatory agenda.
Yeah.
He instantly did it.
Just says, "Here, take the gang sign, do it."
He's
So,
like so happy.
now we get the classic game where, you know, if Jon wants to check this turn, he's going to have to install Paparazzi, mill 2, and check if he wants to win this turn. But Travis has had ice in hand and certainly has the archive memories that he could get ice back if he wanted. I don't know that that's the greatest play because Faust is out. All right, seeing the same stuff.
Eve's so good. Eli's so
Yep.
good.
Okay.
All right.
Fail to hit anything. I can make a bounce. I'll bounce the.
All right, so he wants to clear up HQ a little bit. Luckily, he picked the less relevant of the two.
You think your DLR Mill 3 or just 2 check?
So looking at Travis's board, right,
As
it's
long
going
as
to
he
cost.
I think you milled 3 because you know he's not going to win next turn. Oh, he could Biotic. But
So he's got 2 fall guys in a wireless net pavilion. So with Travis's credit situation, I mean, that would drain him quite a bit to clear out Jon's
yeah,
board
so
if he
but
does put this
also,
out.
It costs him all 3 clicks.
Yeah.
So in that way, you're getting the extra mill.
I think I would just mill. I'd
Yeah.
just install mill 3.
Wow, he's running HQ.
one?
Click 1.
I'm not sure.
You already gang sign.
Yeah.
You already gang sign. Why do you need to run HQ?
Yeah, I don't know that anything I would have seen. He's too broke for Chrysium. I don't know what he expects to see there.
I don't know. Vikram's not a bad thing right now either.
Vikram,
Three
you
to
know,
pump. I mean, 2 to pump,
I thought it was
3 to
EG.
break. That's just like.
it's kind of gross. I mean,
probably
it's
took mine.
again the first 2 brain damage. It's not the end of the world, but
No, it hits paparazzi.
you can't do it forever.
You can't.
And
let-
you can't lose paparazzi.
I guess
Okay, so he's going for Faust.
Increase, break the brain.
Okay, so he's just going to leave the can't use programs the rest of the turn ability, which is fine.
Go ahead and pop Fall Guys.
Okay. So, wow, he is going to try and clear out Chrysium.
Credits. And I will access your hand first.
Okay, so going to see if he pulls the agenda first, making sure he has enough money up for a potential NAPD, which is totally reasonable.
Nope. Eli.
No, I'm choosing not to because I think there's other things that need to be trashed. And
All right, so nothing.
I will trash the Chrysium.
Okay, so he's going for broke to trash Chrysium.
I understand why he's doing this, so he can siphon and the tag be
Yeah.
more permanent.
2 is Siphon.
Yes.
I'm going to click the 2 brains and take 2 tags and take some money.
All right, well, this is the money pile is gone.
But he can just trash
My
DLR.
turn. I draw 1 at the start like you do.
He's down to 2, and there's wireless net pavilion on the
Oh.
board, so he's going to have to
How do you go
commit
so
his
low?
turn. Siphon and Vikram. Okay. Interesting. So we could go install Chrysium. I don't know how big a deal that is at the moment, but it's all right. You look at the board. He's got 1 in hand. Got an agenda,
I think what would have been better is to throw the Eve down.
but he's got to fight through siphons. All right,
So
you got
you throw the Eve down
could be.
if you're not going to score.
Put that down. I wonder what it is.
Okay, so it's going to force some action. I don't know how I feel about this, to be quite honest.
Lose 1 to the drug dealer.
I think he's going to say, come at me.
Click 1, run
Do you
the
have it?
God dang it! Why did he install this card?
All right, well, let's check on what he's got. It's been so long since I've looked at the ice on this remote, I don't remember what it is.
He can't res any of it.
Yeah, so we've got to go Ash Trace, but he's got a lot of money.
Oh, he's using it for bank job.
I've got to imagine he goes back. There's no way he doesn't go back.
He might not.
2.
There's no way he doesn't go back.
He just DLR'd. What?
I'm going to sit in silence for a moment.
I'm gonna flip this table.
Wow. Bluffs for days.
What? I'm like
Bluffs for
scribbling. I'm writing
days.
stuff down. I'm like tearing this piece of paper up with my.
Dude, Travis.
I don't know what to do with my life.
Travis on a roll,
I
man.
don't know what to do with my life.
Just he top decks.
You thought that was
He
it.
blind installs agendas. They get run, but don't get really run because they're
What is
bank
going
jobs.
on?
Craziness, man.
What is this game?
This is madness. I don't know. I don't know how to play Netrunner anymore, guys.
quit it.
I just
quit
don't.
it. I just have to quit right now. I can't play this game anymore.
I'm gonna list my cards on eBay tomorrow, guy. I clearly don't know what I'm doing with this game. So this is unbelievable.
This is insane.
Oh man.